Hit the mics, take a seat, it's about to ignite. Two dudes with the spread, keep your bets locked tight. Sports talk sharp like a razor blade edge. Numbers don't lie, no need for a hedge. Welcome to the greatest fucking show on earth. From the pitch to the court where legends birth. Plays and parlays, every wager's worth. Sit back, tune in, ride the wave of mirth. Game clock's ticking, we predicting the heat. Fast talk, faster stats, never tasting defeat. Breakdowns crisp, clear, a handicapper's delight. Rolling dice with insight under stadium lights. Feel the rush, odds crush and adrenaline flow. Front row seats in this betting expo. Chasing triumphs, breaking every curse. Welcome to the greatest fucking show on earth.
Welcome to episode 22 of the Two Guys, One Spread podcast. All sorts of good stuff going on. Tommy, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, man? Playoff
Not
season,
much.
Baby. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Tons of stuff coming on. We got the schedule coming around. We got playoffs going
schedule
on.
release. Shockingly, no Seahawks games are being leaked.
No.
No.
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
No big primetime Monday night game or Christmas
No respect.
Day.
No respect.
Yeah. I know Allen's going on like Today's Show tomorrow.
Yeah, but then I heard that he wasn't. I heard at first they said he was supposed to go on like Friday, and then he wasn't, and then he was going on tomorrow, and then today on GR, I thought they said that they weren't still.
Oh.
But I don't know. A lot of
I
people
hope he doesn't go because I feel like if he goes, it's like Christmas home game, and I don't want.
I feel like it's. I feel like they're getting a Christmas game.
I know. Me too.
What's your
international games? But
what are your thoughts on
getting some sort of Christmas home game for some reason, and I'm not.
What do you think about Christmas game?
I don't like them. I don't like them.
Would you be okay if it was away?
I'd be better if it was away.
But you'd still prefer not having it.
I prefer not having a Christmas game.
Yeah, I know. The one guy today in Rochester on the radio was talking about how the Bears like ruined his Thanksgiving last year, and I was like, I can see that. Like,
listen, I remember when the Bills play Thanksgiving, it is like this is gonna ruin the holiday if they lose.
Yeah.
It was like the Lions. That's at noon. You're like, well, I mean, it's gonna ruin everything.
I could see it. I'll be perfectly honest. If Seattle lost, I wouldn't be excited and happy.
It truly will ruin a holiday. It hasn't happened. We're perfect on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So it's actually made the holiday great. But
yeah,
Christmas, I don't even have a young kid, but it's just so busy and there's stuff
I know.
going on. I don't got time for a home.
I love having games those days because I know I'm home. But my favorite team, I could do without it a little bit.
Yeah, me too. So I'm dreading that because I have a gut feeling we're getting it. But
yeah, I do too. So we are going to have a whole episode probably. We're hoping for Thursday to talk about that. Me and Tommy are in a Dynasty Fantasy League. We got it's started up new, so we got our draft order today.
Right.
Super excited about that.
Yeah.
At some point, I'd like to get the commission of that league on here.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So that we'll try and make sure that happens. But I'm super excited now that the NFL draft is over. It's time to put on our fantasy hats. Yeah. We're both huge fantasy players, so we'll have a ton
That's
of.
What's great about the Dynasty, it's once you get it going, this is obviously a fresh start. But you got the veteran draft, the rookie draft.
It's a whole new animal.
You know, once the season starts, you got trades possibly coming out. It's so much.
This thing is so great. It is. Yeah. It took me a year or two to kind of get into it. I had been in them before, but once I got in, I was like, oh God, this is just so juicy. It's just like being a GM.
It's much more than just. Let's have an hour on ESPN live draft, and then you're done for the season. It is. Yeah,
and then you're kind of like, just setting your lineup. So that was great news today. I have really been looking forward to that. The bad news is we got to wait 2 weeks before that starts, but that'll be coming. And now that it's we just touched on fantasy football. Let's talk football a little bit.
News that's been out there. We had a couple two big stories go out there. We had the trade of Pickens to the Cowboys for a third round pick, basically. What do you think? about this trade. I'm confused about the Steelers and what they're doing.
I don't. I mean, I got a bunch of Steeler buddies.
Yeah,
A couple of them will be here Saturday for poker. Tommy's coming too.
I'll be there.
Going to be a good time. I can't wait to ask. I have no idea what the plan is with the
Yeah,
Steelers.
it's
Is it? I
confusing.
mean, I
They
just
go out and get what's his name?
DK
DK Metcalf, and then the only
and
thing
you.
I will say is DK and Pickens, they're similar. They're not a great route tree running. I will say that, but they are studs. And you just get these. They're an offensive challenge team. They've been an offensive challenge team forever, it seems. And they go out and get two stud wide receivers. They drafted a young running back in the draft, and then they still don't have a quarterback. They then trade Pickens away.
What I'm trying to look up real quick while we're talking. What Pitkins? What were his number? Like, I
He's
mean,
one of those
again,
guys. He's very
I
DK Metcalf. It's like, oh, he had a great game, then did nothing, and then
I
another
did.
great game
So
and
I
did nothing.
don't love. I didn't love the trade. If I was a Steelers fan, I would not love the trade for DK. I don't want DK and Pickens on my team, and I
Agreed.
definitely don't want to pay him.
And
But at
if
the same
I'm
time,
gonna do it, I'm
but
gonna
at the
keep Pickens. He's cheaper.
oh, so that's what I'm getting.
So I don't get it.
I'm trying to find his numbers because what I want to know is how much. I guess his numbers weren't that much different. That so like. I mean, he had. Oh, I mean, he had 900 yards, 59 catches, 3 touchdowns. Is he going to ask for 30
Oh yeah, I mean,
million?
we'll see what he does down there, but he's definitely the second wide receiver there to Lamb. I mean,
No, I'm saying even in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I don't know the plan. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe they realize like, Jesus, do we want both of these guys in the receiver room?
possible.
And I mean, who knows? Those two they probably fought already. I mean,
It's possible, but you're like you look at it. You know, he's been in the league 3 years. You know, basically he's averaging 60 receptions. He does get yards because he is a his average reception is like 16 yards per catch.
I just feel like if you were going to get rid of one, why did you trade for
I know.
DK?
I agree. And then you traded and you kept the one that costs 10 times more right now. So that doesn't make any sense to me at all. I just don't get it. I like it on the Cowboys side. I think they needed a little bit more with Lamb needed some help. Dak needed some help. I still think that team's defense is terrible, but we'll see. But I like it on the Cowboys side. It's little risk, third round pick. You know, we talk about picks all the time and value
Yeah,
stuff like that.
my question is, who's their coach? Schottenheimer.
Yeah,
I mean, is he going to be able to manage this thing?
we'll see.
This guy coming in,
Tomlin's supposed to be the guy who can manage all these crazy personalities, and they shipped him out real quick. I just don't know what they're doing. They don't have a quarterback. They got rid of now one of the receivers that we thought they were going to have a dual threat wide receiver. Now they're back to just really DK Metcalf. They got no one else really on that team.
And what I mean, if you're this is why I honestly get pissed off at these guys that cry and complain. Like, does DK genuinely think now his situation's better?
It's not better.
I mean, Pittsburgh's their weather's twice as bad as
Yeah.
Seattle. Seattle's not great in the winter, but
Yeah,
Pittsburgh's twice as bad.
right,
Your quarterback his situation certainly isn't better.
right.
I just I mean, I guess unless Seattle's like, listen, we're not paying you. So,
I think that's what's maybe Seattle talked to him, gave him an offer, and they were like, we're not even close, so let's get him out of here, get some value.
yeah, but I mean, it sounds like I've heard since then that he's asked to be traded in previous seasons.
Right.
So it sounds like he just wanted out. Like, sometimes when your guys on your team get traded, it's hard to root for them. I guess
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel
I
like
know that.
feel like a jerk rooting against them, but there's a part of me that's like, you got what you want. You know what I mean? Peerless Price.
Right.
Remember Peerless Price? You think you're a number one. You went someplace disaster. You're not a number one.
Not a number one.
You should have just been happy. Like, you had a great thing going. I don't know. It's interesting. Pittsburgh is wild. I have no idea if Rodgers is going there. Maybe they felt, Rodgers isn't coming. Maybe Rodgers isn't coming.
Right.
And now they're like, now we got these two guys.
That's
no one
possible.
to, like, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a reaction to Rodgers not coming. I have no. It's wild. It's crazy.
I mean, we can go into the next topic, which I think Rodgers is now more. Maybe it's
a factor in this one.
But with Carr retiring, now we have a starting job in a more desirable division, in a more desirable playing in a dome.
Indoors for sure.
Indoors. He's going to play in New Orleans. He'll play in Tampa. He'll play in Atlanta, and he'll play in Carolina. Those aren't cold.
Nope.
Those aren't cold areas. And he's got some decent young talent around him. And even if I'm Rodgers, now you only seem to have one team that could possibly. There's been no ties to the Saints, but I'm just saying if I was Rodgers, which situation would I rather go to?
I mean, it doesn't even seem close to me.
I mean, if I'm 40
and
I am older.
I just don't think. I mean, listen, I'm an idiot because I have one league where I drafted Breece Hall, and I should have known better last year. Rodgers is not going. I don't care what he says. He's not going to Pittsburgh to throw 19 passes a game.
Right.
And rely on
the he won't do it.
I just don't see that being an option.
Right.
So he completely changed things in Pittsburgh. Or in New York. He threw 1,000,000 times, which gave him some padded numbers that you seem to have fallen for.
They're not padded. He's a better quarterback than what listen. I'm not saying he's amazing. I'm just saying we talked Rudolph versus Rodgers, and it was.
I don't know. I'm not
close.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think and listen, this is part of the reason why Rodgers just waits forever, because stuff comes up.
Yeah, stuff always comes up.
It always comes up.
And as much as I feel bad for Carr, I know he's retiring because of a shoulder injury. I don't blame him. He's an 11-year veteran. He was going to be out a year. That would ruin year 12. He's back in year 13.
Yeah.
I'm not a Carr guy. The guy's done nothing anywhere he's gone. He had decent stats early, semi-decent with the Raiders, but nothing great.
He's consistently the 14th best QB in the
league. Yeah.
Right? You're not winning anything. You're probably not going to be terrible. You're not going, you're probably not. What?
You remember New Orleans start last year? They were the greatest show on.
Yeah, I know. Was it 2 or 3 games? They had like
2 weeks. 2 weeks. It was unbelievable. 47 and 40, 50 points on Dallas, and it was like, oh. And then they were the worst team. It's unbelievable how that happens. The worst team the rest of the way.
I absolutely. I think that's a factor. I do, because if I'm Rodgers, I don't know what is drawing me to Pittsburgh. I mean, honestly, like as much as I'm not a fan, he's won a Super Bowl.
I just mentioned the division and the weather.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Steelers, you're going to get your ass handed to you every divisional game. Even the Browns have a good defense. Then you got
cold and miserable.
And then Baltimore, it's cold, and it's these teams. It's not the same. I mean, go. Again, there's been nothing that said Saints, but if I had the option, it's not that hard of a decision. It's a much easier division, and it's much easier playing.
Still say a few prayers that he goes to Pittsburgh. I want that marriage so bad, but I just can't imagine it. Everything about it sounds like a bad fit.
I agree.
Weather, division, playing style. I don't know how much money they're going to pay him, but I can't see him going crazy, right? So just seems bad all around. But and I think that New Orleans at least offers them something a little bit, right?
I would. I know they're kind of strapped, but right now they have the third round pick that he's like 47 coming out of Louisville quarterback. So I think that's their only really. They have Riddler. I think that's their other one.
Yeah.
He was
They
already
don't
been proven he's not a starting quarterback in this league. So
they
need
don't.
somebody. They need something.
What real quick? So with the talk about Minnesota having the 2 overseas games
Right.
in back-to-back weeks,
Right.
I heard a little discussion today about, is this the blueprint to where maybe at some point they have a whole division over in Europe?
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I've heard that a couple of years ago, where this would be how they can do it.
Yeah, like if
Where you almost have
if
to
you're
have
gonna
not
go,
just one team over there. I think you have to have two to make it work.
no, I heard like the talk, like what about a whole division,
Yeah,
4,
it's
and
possible.
then this way, if you're gonna go,
You do
right,
the whole thing.
you play 2 or maybe 2 or 3
Yeah,
while you're over there, right? Like 2
right,
games or 2, at least 2 back to back, right? And then
right.
someone else.
The
I
Jags did it the last 2 years. I know they did it against the Bills because the
Yeah,
Bills
and
played them the second time, and we all complained that it was unfair because we lost.
well, I have already determined whoever, I think Minnesota, I forget who they play, Cleveland maybe in the second game or
Yeah,
something. I'm betting Minnesota
yeah,
heavy.
yeah.
But I hate the idea. I just selfishly don't want them to go to Europe.
I
It
don't either. I don't
just
either.
doesn't sound right to me.
I mean, they every year it's a new country, new city.
I know. So I totally do not mind. I don't mind the games over there,
Right.
right? Like I actually like it. Gives me
Well, I get
fan.
up at 9. The game's on.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh
It
God,
is
so
nice.
juicy.
Yep. It is
It's
nice.
so juicy. So
Yeah.
that part I love. I just for some reason I don't want like teams over there. I don't know.
Right. Nah, I can see that. But yeah, I agree. That's how they would do it. Would be you'd have to at least have one or two, like you said, maybe in a division, and then when you go there, you play 2 games minimum,
Yeah.
and that's how you can do it. And when they come here, that's the way they're going to do it too.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, they might have to do more, right?
Yeah.
3, 3 or something.
Right. It
And
might be
go
3
back,
3 a day. Yeah.
go
So
back for 2 or 3. But
I agree with you. I hope that it never happens. It's just going to be a scheduling nightmare when you got to play those teams.
yeah,
But yeah, we'll see. I know that I was shocked that it wasn't the Jags. I thought the Jags were like the pseudo home team for like England and stuff like that.
well, they have games.
They have
Jags
one
have
game
games.
there, but usually
Oh yeah,
they're the 2 team.
yeah,
Jags care less if they lose home games. They're not big sellers. So
yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. I know there'll
So,
be more. We'll talk schedule. And stuff
yeah.
but yeah, I can see that.
Quick, some NBA playoff stuff. Looks like your Pacers close it out.
Woo-wee. Close them out, baby.
Wow.
In 5.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. I mean, it looks like they're on a collision course with the Knicks.
I know. Who had that as the Easter Conference? I know we didn't.
No, I mean we were both like, Boston and Cleveland look
Yeah.
unbeatable.
Yeah, Boston. I mean Tatum going down. He's got the torn Achilles.
Yeah, that stunk. But honestly, they were losing that game anyway.
They were losing that game anyways. I agree with that.
I got a little annoyed. So Portnoy went on. He does his emergency press conference.
Yeah.
And he had one, and he was like, all we need. He's like, basically like, we should all be praying for Tatum and how much he's done for the city and all of this, which I totally agree. And it looked like a really bad injury.
Right.
He's like, I think he said like, I don't know if he said he turned off the game or he's like, the game wasn't over at that point, and I'm like, oh, it basically was.
Yeah.
And then he's like, just my thoughts and prayers with him and his family. Respect all of it, agree with all of it. And then the last thing he closes with is like right at the end, he's like, I still don't know who won the game. And I'm just like, you're lying. Like I got to, I'm like, you're absolutely lying.
Yeah.
There's no way that you just turn that game off and
never check.
Put your phone down. Because again, you're getting all the messages. You're a fanatic fan. Like, it was almost like his way of, I don't know. I felt it was like his way of being like, all right, this is gonna lessen the
blow of the whole series,
or something, right? I was like, that's a lie. I don't feel in any way that he didn't like again, super upset and disappointing and it's tough, but I don't know the way he's like, I still don't know who won the game, and then like clicked it off, and I was like, you're full of shit.
He's definitely full of shit, dude. I've turned off Bills games that were down like 30. And then I'll be like, every 5 minutes I'll check. I'm like, maybe we scored a goal. Dude, there's no way. You don't turn it off. If you're a super fan, you check. You just
and then like I said, there was like 2 minutes left, right? So or like at the very least, I mean, even if I don't know, maybe he didn't see who won. He knew who won because that game was out of hand at that point. It was like 7 or 9 points. I mean, I guess anything can happen, right? But I don't know. Boston looks like that's still perplexing to me.
It is. You had their first 2 games; they're up 20. Each of the games lost, and then the Celtics came back and won pretty big, and then the Knicks just did it again. It's just, I mean, Brunson has been a beast.
But the Celtics had control. They were up in the first quarter, cruised right through halftime. I think it was double digits.
Yeah, it was double digits again.
It was either 11 or 9 at halftime. Yep. I know because I had a little bit on the Celtics.
Right.
And just a big run, and it was over. That was it. I mean, they were in control of the game. And again, I know 11's not like some commanding lead in the NBA, but when you're supposed to be the better team and you get up double digits, like you got to win those games. And they lost it, but this was before Tatum got hurt.
Right. Oh,
this
is way before
2 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, Brunson got on fire, and that was it. Then the Knicks kind of just took over that game.
Yeah.
Good story for Brunson. That guy kind of came out of nowhere. I was just reading about him, and it's amazing the Mavericks can. He came from the Mavericks. He was on the Mavericks. They refused to pay him. If you think about salaries in like the NBA and stuff, he wanted like a 5-year, $55 million contract, and they said no, which is fine. And he goes and dude's a stud.
Yeah, I mean he had 1 or 2 big seasons in Dallas, but I don't know. I mean, you hear all the talk about how the draft lottery was fixed for Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty remarkable.
It is unbelievable.
It is pretty crazy.
They seem to be, every time they screwed up, they just keep, get another good player somehow. So
I know. And now all of a sudden, I mean, realistically, if Davis is healthy and Kyrie comes back, you can add Flag, like you're
right back in it.
I know. It's just that's
maybe
nuts.
They are better. They could be.
I know.
They could be better.
Could be. It'll be wild. Could you imagine next year if they're better than the Lakers?
Yeah. I mean, you got a 41-year-old LeBron, and Luka can always score, but he can't play defense, and we'll see. Maybe he loses weight, and he has never been in peak physical shape yet in his career, but maybe he does, and I don't know. But I mean, the Mavs are an interesting team next year.
The Nuggets were down like 12-2, but they're down.
I've been checking out
down by 1 right now. That series is really good. I really think that team, if whoever wins that series, is going to be really, really tough to beat.
Right.
But
I still think the Thunder are going to hold off. I mean, I love the Nuggets, but think
Yeah.
the Thunder are just a little bit better of a team. And
That Knicks Pacers will be like old time.
it's old school. I
Old
know.
school.
Dunking Dutchman's gonna come out,
Oh
and
God, it was so bad.
Starks will be there.
Oh man, it was so
It
there's
is gonna be very mid '90s type of matchup.
yeah, that's awesome.
It's good. It's good for the league. The Knicks being popular is good. A New York team being
They
popular is
they
being
they went through
competitive.
they went through a rough stretch. Last series, Timberwolves, Warriors.
Yeah, it's
So,
I watching the Warriors without Curry is just not a good watch. It's
yeah,
tough. I watched last night. Um, it's just not. They run their offense through what's the goon?
Draymond.
Draymond.
Yeah,
Right, he's like their point guard.
yeah,
They run it through him. It's a weird setup they have, and I'm not bashing Draymond. The guy does everything he can to help that team win. But it's
I
just
think I think sometimes when a guy does so much for a team that I've said this about some of the teams that I coach, like when you have a guy that's just so good that the guys around them maybe sometimes forget how to do stuff
yeah,
and play, right? You know what I mean?
right.
Um, because the Warriors seem like they get these talented guys, but then they are just used to Steph doing Steph things and
Yeah,
taking so many shots. And then when they're put on the spotlight or they have to step up, they like seem to not be able to do it.
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I watched a lot of that game last night, and I was like, Timberwolves I don't know. I never felt like the Warriors are going to win that game at all. We'll see this next time. I mean, they're great defensively.
Their
So
offense
are the
strong.
Timberwolves, though.
But dude, Butler missed a couple layups.
Yeah, Butler has got to really step off offensively, and for them to have a chance to get back in this thing.
Yeah, and like I felt like man, there was a couple. He drove the lane and he had it, and then he just kissed it too high off the glass, and I was like, oh my god, they did seem like a mess. But
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, definitely some suspense there in the NBA playoffs.
right. Yeah.
Hockey.
Hockey
I
got
think
the
the
Stars
series.
up one. Did they just score? I'm not sure.
Oh,
My Stars are
start
up one.
2-1. I'm not sure when they scored
No,
the second
it
one.
was earlier. Yeah.
That series is a little surprising, but
Stars are
again,
good.
we
They're
talked about
Brattman
it. It's the Stars. I mean, Rattanen's obviously gone on fire,
on
but
fire. Good
they
story.
and they
9 goals, 9 assists.
got
Guys been
Niskanen back tonight. They don't have superstars, but they're good. They're really good all around,
right.
and their goaltending has been better.
Yeah, it's
It's
been better.
better than the Jets, and it's been better it's been good for a while. So it's not like Ottinger's literally come out of nowhere, but Dallas can really they can make a run here. Vegas, Edmonton.
That end of the game was awesome. The Oilers Knights. What was it 2 games ago?
Oh, the buzzer beater.
And at 0.4 seconds.
Yeah,
Just craziness. Skinner all over the place.
yeah. There were some good memes about that. I was crying. A
Just
couple really funny ones. Like,
all over the place. Then just a bad luck tip, but it was a great game.
but I mean, considering that's the only game Vegas won,
I know.
they're down 3-1. I mean, it just seems like Edmonton's a better team. It's what
I think. Yeah, I agree. They do need to score at least 4 goals to win, but they don't really seem to have a problem doing that either. So
yeah, that for the NHL's sake, I think it's good. McDavid is so good that they
you think you get some casual fans watching with McDavid?
yeah, and I just think it's good for the game when the superstars, like if he
Yeah,
if he
absolutely.
could win a cup, right?
Yep.
I just think if he could win a cup, it would be big for the sport, big for obviously Canada, and big for him. And he's really that good. But they're gonna have their hands full in Dallas because I still think Dallas is a deeper team.
Yeah. No,
So
I agree. I agree. Better goaltending too, so they might not be able to score those four a
yeah,
game that they've been doing, or three, 4 goals. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm rooting for the Oilers. So also rooting for the Panthers. That 2-0 lead got taken out. At,
yeah,
anyway,
that series has been good.
it's been good. It has been high scoring, high pace. This is what it's been enjoyable, to watch
A lot of
games.
chippiness, which you can always kind of expect with a Florida team,
Right.
and just being the playoffs. Um, Man, Matthews has been. I think he's got one goal this playoffs.
Yeah, it's been
That's
kind of non-existent.
that's not good enough.
No, they're gonna need more from him if they want to move on. But we can only hope.
Yeah, I got when Toronto got up 2-0 in the series, I was like, oh boy. But Florida, they did what good champion teams do, right? They
Yeah,
fought back. They caught a little break in that overtime game.
yeah,
Marchand
yeah.
threw it at the net, went off the guys. But that's how
It's,
you win in the playoffs,
those are
right?
overtime goals.
Yeah,
Happen
that's
all
how
the
you
time.
win in the playoffs. Stick
Yep.
around, get the puck to the net. You know, you know, forecheck, play smart in your own zone, and you get a bounce one game, someone gets one the next. So that series is going 7. I hope just because it's going to make for great hockey.
Yeah.
But and then
We
I
talk
don't
about
know.
good series. We talk about not a great series to watch, and that's the Capitals Hurricanes. It's not great. I think the Canes are just better.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything really out of the Capitals to be like, wow, they really have a chance to come back in this series and win.
yeah,
I haven't
no,
seen anything of the sort.
yeah, and it's kind of. I mean, that's the way I kind of. I mean, I think we talked about it with the speed, and it just seems like it's and the Canes have scored 5, 4, 3, 2. So game 1 they won 2-1. No, they had one. They had one. They lost game 2. But since then they've had 4, 5 goals. I mean, you're gonna win playoff hockey with that.
Yep.
I think Capitals just like I said, great regular season. Playoffs are different. I thought the experience matters, but so does speed, youth, energy, all of that stuff.
Right.
And I just think that all points to Carolina. And Carolina's not inexperienced. It's not like they've never been to the playoffs, right? Brendan Moore wins a series every season. So,
Right.
so I think the conference finals should be good though. Carolina versus either of those teams,
Absolutely.
and Edmonton if they could hang on versus you know either of those teams. But I think Dallas seems to be a better team. But we know that changes.
It changes quick. Changes quick.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Keep watching. It's been great. The NBA, the NHL, it's all been good.
playoff time is great. Um,
Want to talk some bets?
yeah, let's talk some bets. I'm gonna start because I went 0-2. What
Right.
a what a oh man. I felt Florida was gonna fight back. I just picked the
Picked the
wrong
wrong
game.
game. Picked the wrong
I
game. They were
picked the
gonna fight.
wrong game. And obviously I thought Carolina was a better team and I picked the wrong game. So 2 losses there wipes out my 2 wins that I had earlier. I am 12-10. Still above 500. Wanted to get on a little streak, but I think I'm ready to do that.
Yeah. Well, who we got?
Well, good. Let's review yours.
All right.
And then,
I went 1-1. I went
yep.
with the crazy spreads. I got minus 10.5 Celtics. They lost that game outright. That's not good. I know we were doing a not a podcast that night, but we might have been chatting, and I'm like, all right, well they're up 20, second half. This is looking good, and then literally hit 20, and it was like done. And then you're like, oh, it's 14. It's 10. All right. I'm like, I'm still all right. It's 7. It's 3. You're like, all right, well, this is over. But then I also had I did the 10.5, and I had the Thunder, and they blew them out by like 30 that game. So, yeah, 1-1. We'll take it. What's my record? You got it in front of you?
Yeah, your record is 10-11.
All right, gotta get to 500 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 3 games here. I'm only gonna take 2. I'm just trying to figure out which 2 I like.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my third one. I think the Celtics are gonna cover the 4.5. I mean, they're getting 4.5.
No, they're giving 4.5.
Yeah, they're giving 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, mine. Yeah.
Right. Listen. I know Tatum got hurt. Celtics are still a very deep team. They're still a very good defensive team. They've been winning in every one of these games. It's like I feel like every game in the third quarter they are at some point dominating. So I'm gonna take the Celtics, the minus the 4.5.
All right. Maybe we should put in 3 because I am also taking them. I've told you my theory before about when a big guy goes out. Like, I just
Yeah,
somewhat
money
listen.
goes the other way, and then
I mean, Tatum had a really good game,
he did.
but it's not like he's shooting 62% for the series.
Right.
Someone's going to pick up those shots. They're going to be spread around. I think they're
and they
probably
are a deep team. So
and I think they're a little bit less predictable now.
right.
Right? You know what I mean?
Maybe they won't shoot 63s and do better. But listen, that's the same theory I had. I know people see Tatum down and they're automatically gonna go, listen, we gotta take the Knicks, but I still think the Celtics are a very good team without them. And if you've watched the games, they've been dominating at some point in every game.
I think they get that one and then they go back to New York and that's maybe all they wrote.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Okay. My next one I'm putting in, and I'm gonna have to look up to see what it is, but I am gonna take. And I hate doing. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I'm gonna take Jimmy Butler's over points.
All right.
I just think their backs are against the wall here a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm going to take the over points. Is there a chance that Curry sneaks back in this game?
They said a week. It'd be close to a week. I haven't heard anything about him being ready to play, but
there's almost a little part of me that wants him to come back because then I think maybe that like lowers Butler's number a touch.
Right.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know what the number is right now, but I'm gonna take the over points. I think he's a playoff performer. He probably was embarrassed by that last game. Backs are against the wall. I think they're gonna fight, and he's gonna hit the over. So.
Yeah. That was. I got an NBA and I got an NHL game here, but I'll go with the NBA. It's the same game. I'm taking the Warriors, getting 11.5. I've been going the minus 11.5 a lot because it seems like crazy. But I also think the Warriors are just too good defensively. And I agree. I think you're going to see better offense out of Butler. And I think they'll keep this game close. 11.5 is a lot.
That is a lot.
It's a lot. I love the Warriors can play defense. They've been since they got Butler, they've been the tops in the league in defense. Maybe Curry comes back, but either way, I like him at 11.5.
All right, you have any we'll put some in. I'm gonna put one more in just because
I got one more because I wrote 3 down.
All right, just because it's Thursday and we had that. I'm gonna go Carolina minus the 1.5
Okay.
on Thursday. I think they close it out in Washington. I think Washington at some point, either they're going to lose by a couple or they're going to pull their goalie, and I'll hope for the empty netter. Probably pull them a little earlier, right? You got nothing to lose. So I'm going to put that one in, but I'm gonna take the better odds and go minus goal and a half.
All right. I'm in that game too. I'm taking the under in that game, 5.5. You get me a little worried about the empty netters, and I know if they're down two, even late, they're gonna pull their goalie just because they have you got no hope. But I think it's gonna be one of those grinded, you know, series closing type games where it could be 2-1 late.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a little low scoring, so I'm going to take the under in that game. I think the Caps have been just miserably off offensively, anyways. But maybe they'll grind it out, keep the game close. I do like Carolina winning the game, but I'm going to take the under.
Well, and the other thing that you could have going for you here a little bit is
well, I mean, if the Caps get up 2-1, that's huge for me. We'll see. I just think it's going to be low scoring.
Well, I think you get Carolina gets a little lead, right?
Right.
Maybe they get up 1-0 or even 2-1, and now you're really, are you going for the jugular or are you pulling off a little?
Yeah.
You're making every smart play in your
Yes.
defensive zone. Tip it
don't
high
make a
off the
stupid play.
glass.
You're making the smart play. Just get it out of the zone.
High off the glass, flip it in the air where they can't bat it down. You know what I mean?
Ice it. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So for there's a real possibility there if it's that type of game, especially if it gets that type of game in the second half.
Right.
So
yeah, I have a feeling I'll know by the end of the first period if I got a chance.
Yeah, where you're at.
Yeah.
Those are always a good time. So all right, sounds awesome.
3-bet week. I like it.
Yeah, we definitely, like I said, we definitely will plan on having a session probably on Thursday where we can go through the schedule release and the big games, see what we like, what we don't like, and move on from there. Schedule release is always kind of a good time.
Yeah, you go through. Everybody goes through their Bills game. You're like, all right, it's a win, loss, stuff like that. So you like going through the schedule, see what's going on.
Yeah, on WGR, I always love, one of my favorite segments is, even though he's retired, was when Howard picks the Bills.
Oh, yeah.
In the morning, and he did, he never wants to do it, and it was just, they bring him on, and it's still fun. So, yeah, we'll definitely have a good time with that, and address any other big sports stuff that's coming up. So, appreciate all the listeners. I think I saw the other day, I got to look at the numbers, but we had someone grow. Definitely want to, maybe Thursday we can even test out that Facebook Live.
Anybody caught the test, it was going really well.
Yeah, the test was rough. I mean,
we were going to go on for about 5 minutes, and an hour into our testing, we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah,
we were in darkness, and we got it going.
I think we nailed it. So
yeah,
all the big podcast things, iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. So until Thursday, let's have a good one. Get ready to play some cards.
Yeah, I'll be ready. With some
all
money.
Right. Yep. Bring some of that IT cash.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it.
All right. Sounds great. All right. See ya.
See you, man.